Hey folks, it's Charlie here from Charlie in the Rain, and you're watching another interview with an Aussie artist who is absolutely killing it at the moment. I was just saying before we hit record, I have been obsessed with this artist. You see people online and you see them doing the coolest things, and it's just like, I barely realize it's one person doing all of this. This artist I'm joined with today is just phenomenal. We've got like singer-songwriter, we've got producer, we have so many different creative fields we're dabbling in. The music is so good. We've got a new single out, which we're going to dive into today. I'm joined today by Sophie Edwards. How are you doing?
Hi, good, thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, I'm so excited to chat. If people are watching and they're still fairly new to the Sophie Edwards world, they might have never heard your song before and they're diving in for the first time. Can you tell us a little bit about you? What do we need to know Sophie Edwards?
For sure. So I started as a singer-songwriter here in Canberra, and then I kind of was writing my own songs and getting them produced by other people and thought I could probably do this if I tried and I learned. So I went and studied production, and then now I work pretty much full-time on my music and other people's music. And yeah, each day is kind of different. Sometimes I'm working on my own songs, sometimes I'm producing for other people, sometimes I'm just working in a recording studio, but it's all music, which is fun.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Working full-time in music is also just like such a rarity nowadays. So many artists are doing like second, third, fourth jobs even just to keep up with it. So it's so cool that you're able to like put yourself fully into music. I love that.
Yeah, it's really special.
Okay, we're chatting today because by the time people are listening, you've got a new single out. I'm obsessed with this track. It's called Better. Every time I listen to it, I get the biggest, like, the cheesiest grin on your face. And it's just like, you get all embarrassed, you get giddy. It's like you're in the song. I adore this track. Can you tell us a little bit about Better?
For sure. So this track I produced, and I wrote it when I was at the start of a relationship, and it felt like I could like feel myself being annoying to my friends in the way that I just talked about him all day, every day. And all of these things that he was doing, I kept thinking were like completely changing my life and were bringing so much amazing stuff to my life. But like in retrospect, I kind of look at it and I'm like, he was kind of doing the bare minimum, but I just hadn't experienced it before. And so I think, I don't know, other people can maybe relate to that of just being completely caught up in a new relationship. And I like to write about when I'm feeling things in an overwhelming sense. So I think I was pretty overwhelmed by this guy and I wanted to write about it. So yeah.
Oh, I love it. It's that like, it's the honeymoon phase, sort of like, like kicking your feet. It's all cutesy.
Exactly. And your friends are just like, oh my God, can Sophie come back now, please?
They're like, I'm done with this. Like, just get to the next chapter already. Oh, I love when it's like, you can turn a song on and you know exactly what's happening. Like you feel it. It makes you feel like you're in that exact situation. That is exactly what Better has done, at least for me. So I'm that giddy little child, like skipping home from school. Oh, I love it so much.
I'm glad.
Yes. And I'd love to ask, as the mastermind behind this track, what would you suggest is our ideal listening experience? What are we doing? Where are we when we press play? Whether it's for the first time or the 100th time, set the scene for us.
That's so interesting. I feel like I think you should like play it. I mean, there's two circumstances, right? I think you should play it when you're like on your way home from the guy's house and you're just like, whoa, that was perfect. And then you can just kind of play it to relate to everything as well. I don't know. I feel like the first time someone like invited me for dinner at their house and they cooked for me, and then I drove home and I was just like, whoa, my whole life's about to change. I think that would be good. But then also, if you're the friend that is getting talked at about someone else for a long time, I think you could play this song just to like bring them back to earth a little bit. and be like, hey, you're actually just receiving the bare minimum, but like, good for you. Really glad you're happy, but just like keep it in perspective, maybe.
Yeah, that's such a valid thing because no one else is going to tell you in that moment. It's just those friends closest to you. They're like, we know you, we know what you deserve. Take like a reality check. Have a look at like the broader picture.
Exactly. I think I'm that friend for a lot of people, but then no one was doing that for me. Everyone was like, oh, that's good. But then, yeah, anyway, it's fine.
Now, look, you give the advice. You know what we're going to say. How is it feeling to write these sort of like really loved up songs? I know you said you write a lot from these like, you know, like the big emotions, that overwhelming sort of feeling. But a love song to me always feels like it's a bit personal. It's like writing in your diary, especially this like, it's so bright. It's like overwhelming and giddy. And how does it feel to sit down, write this, and then share it with the world?
Yeah, I think I mean, I usually write a lot of really sad songs just because I think that's when I'm not feeling myself and I feel like I have to let it all out maybe. So writing something happy that I actually really liked and didn't feel cheesy was a really big win for me. And I think I didn't know whether I wanted it to necessarily be for everyone. And then I brought it to my band and they recorded some of the parts in the song, and it just felt so much more solid and like its own being outside of my bedroom, if that makes sense. Like it kind of took on an entirely new role in my life rather than just being a song about a boy. It was like a song with the band. So I think that when a song feels really good with my band, that's when I'm like the most excited and I just want to put it out. So I think that's where it is at the moment for me.
Yeah, I love when you just hear like when you see an artist go from doing the individual, like, oh, it's just me, like the guitar or piano, and you see the song come alive with a full band. Oh, I'd love to hear this song live with a full band. I feel like that would be a very cathartic moment.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I don't know, I feel, yeah, we love playing this song. And I think it's really cool that I brought them in for the recording part because they feel like they're a little bit more involved. And a lot of the time when I'm producing music, I'm doing it all by myself in this room. And I think it's really nice when I get to bring in the band that plays it live because then they feel like they kind of had their stamp on it. There's things like there's a really cool guitar solo towards the end of the song that is just like super special that we can replicate live now, which is cool.
Yeah, because that's a whole different feeling. It's not your song anymore. It's the band's song, as you were saying. Oh, I love that. I love when there's such a positive song because as you said, you gravitate towards sad songs. As a listener, I gravitate towards those sad songs so intensely. And I love just switching it up. I love being able to smile when I listen to music.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good thing too. I didn't really think about it that way in the way that it's being received. I kind of just think about the way that I'm making it, but I'm glad that it makes you smile.
Yes. Oh, I love it. And I heard a little whisper, maybe from you, that this song might be the start of something, really cool. Is there something we're leading towards here? Can we hear a little bit about the future coming after Better?
Yeah, for sure. So this is kind of the start of a bigger body of work, which is an album, which is hopefully coming this year. I had my whole year planned out, and then Lara's song blew up that I produced, and so everything's been derailed a little bit, but I'm still like all of the opportunities that I'm getting are like way bigger than I ever expected. So I feel like in the back of my head, I'm like, maybe the album's going to be a little bit delayed, a little bit later in the year now. But yeah, I produced all of the songs on it. There's 12 tracks. And I'm just kind of chipping away at it whenever I have free time. It's been like some of the songs have taken a really, really long time. And some of them I started last week and they feel really good. So yeah, it just depends on, I think when you do things by yourself, when I produce an album or an EP for other people, we kind of just book out a week or two and get it all done. But when you're doing it by yourself, you just have to do it in any couple of hour pockets that you have in your week. So it's taken a bit longer, but it's been really fun. And I'm so excited to share it with everyone too.
If better is our first taste, I'm gonna dive in head first. I'm so excited. But also there's
plenty of sad stuff on there too. So
okay, you know your target audience. You've got us. Yeah, as you mentioned, you're not just like doing all of this production work for yourself, which one is just like, it's so badass to be able to be like, yeah, this is me. Like, oh, what are you listening to? I did that. I did all of that. You're also putting in the work for so many other artists. As you mentioned, you've got a song that recently came out that is doing the rounds. I am seeing it everywhere. What is it like being able to step in to not just your own creative projects as like a singer, songwriter, producer, but also stepping into fellow artists' projects and having all these different creative outlets?
Yeah, I think I've been really lucky in the way that all of my creative projects for other people so far have mostly been for friends or for people who know me because of music. And so it's always been a really personal thing for other people. And I can imagine as well, like if I was trusting someone else with my music to produce it, I would want it to be someone that I really vibe with. And I would absolutely go to my friends first. So with Lara's song, like we never even really intended on making a song. She'd been working with a producer for the past few years that I really admire and respect here in Canberra. And I kind of just invited her over to hang out because I knew she was in town. And then we made this song and I kind of thought that she would take it to the other producer to get it finished. And then it just like blew up like crazy and we suddenly had to finish the song in a really short period of time, which was like such a challenge, but it was so exciting that we didn't want to miss our opportunity. And now it's just like doing even more stuff that we would never dream of. And it literally happened in this room, like in my bedroom. So it's kind of crazy.
Yes. Oh, it's so cool. Like on the producer grind, you are popping off. You've got like nominations left, right, and center for like producer of the year, breakthrough producer of the year. You're nominated in the same category as like the Nina Girachi, which right now is like the biggest gold medal that Australia can possibly give to anyone in the music scene, is to be up on that pedestal beside her. This is so like Hannah Montana vibes. It's like, to do this, I can also do this. I love it. Is this like...
Thank you.
You said you started off as a singer-songwriter and then it was kind of like, you know, just motivated to come to the producer side. How does that work for you nowadays? Do you primarily view yourself as an individual artist and as a singer-songwriter, or is the production kind of creeping in and taking more of a driving force?
Honestly, like I'm fully expecting production to take more of a driving force, but everyone that I've been working with on my own music or people who have kind of come in since Gold to help me out a little bit have all just basically like unanimously agreed that my artist project isn't something to just like put in the backseat at the moment, and to just like be able to try and do everything as long as it's sustainable. I think I've had like quite a few points in my career where people have been like, okay, you need to pick a lane now. And I just put it off until I can't anymore. And I'm still doing that. So I think like, I don't know, I think I'm just not really in the mood for labels, and I'm kind of only working with people that respect that I want to do a bit of everything. But I think that only makes me like a little bit more relatable for an artist to work with as a producer, is like recognizing the whole process of being an artist as well. I think I'm just kind of doing everything and taking every opportunity as it shows up.
And honestly, as you should. I very much relate to that whole sort of like, we're just going to keep running until we hit that burnout point, which is not going to happen. We are not hitting burnout. I'm putting that into the universe. But that's a very, very relatable thing I see across the industry. So many of like different artists I listen to, whether they're in bands, whether they're solo artists, they're dabbling in the production side. They're dabbling in like the behind the scenes side as well. And I love it because it builds like a whole family of music, like a whole extended catalog. Even talking to people like Rahab, so Natasha Newling, who does all like engineering and stuff, it's so cool to see how the whole world lays out and how there's all the different aspects. To have so much control over that as an artist is such a cool thing. I'd love to ask, for people in my position who may know pretty much nothing about this other side of the production and the behind the scenes, or even life as an artist, what's something you wish more people knew about being an artist in Australia or about dabbling in the production side?
I think I wish more people knew that it sounds like I'm maybe devaluing myself, but there's no prerequisite for being a producer. So anything that you do creatively, that you record, that you work on at home is valuable and is production. So I get a lot of messages being like, I want to be a producer, but how do I start? I've recorded this song on Logic, but I don't know how to be a producer. And I'm like, well, you've done it. You've recorded the song, and it's just about using all of the things that you have to the best of your ability at any given point in your life. And I think that just expands. And I remember studying production and being like, yeah, I just don't know when I can call myself a producer. And they were like, well, you're doing it. You're studying it. You're working hard. You're making songs. Like, what more do you want? So yeah, I think, that would be maybe something that I would love to empower, especially other artists into believing in themselves that they are starting to produce if they are making demos at home. Yeah,
absolutely. It does seem like such a daunting thing from like the external perspective. I remember in high school, they were always like, okay, like you want to do music, like you can either play the guitar or the keyboard or you're an insane vocalist. They're like, those are your 3 lanes. And it's like, you want to play the keyboard or the piano? Cool. You're not going to make it in like a big band. So pick one of the others as a default. And it was kind of like, there's more options. There is so much more you can do than just like, you know, the mainstream ideas of what a music career is. So that's such an important message to share. Thank you.
Yeah. The other message I get a lot is like, I want to start producing, but I'm so scared. And I'm like, what are you scared of? Like, there's nothing. It's a computer. Like, at the end of the day, like, what's going to happen? Nothing. You're going to make a song? Like, who cares? Just do it.
Yeah, I feel like that's the notion that's kind of gotten lost in this, like, in the internet era where everyone's sharing everything and everything has to be polished and like on social media and it has to be like top tier. You can't just like be creative for yourself anymore. And I feel that in so many different pursuits. Like I'll sit down to do some scrapbooking and it's like, oh, this has to look good though because I want to post a photo of it online. And it's like, create for yourself, like create for yourself in your bedroom. You don't have to share everything with the world. It doesn't need to be top tier. And I feel like, I don't know if that's just like a modern thing that's gotten lost or if there's been this sort of like pressure bubbling up for a while, but it's like people aren't being creative for themselves anymore and it hurts to see.
Yeah, and I think like the content that I gravitate the most to watching is the content that is behind the scenes or is people starting from zero and getting to 10% of the way through rather than necessarily something that's shot really professionally and sounding really perfect, because I want to know the process and I want to know the journey and I want to know people as artists first.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also just like an empowering thing to see. Like if you keep seeing everything that's like glossy and shiny all the time, you don't really feel that drive, or at least like for myself, I do not feel anything when I see like Taylor Swift post something. I'm like, okay, whatever. But then when you see someone who's like putting in the work and they're trying, they could be failing at some points, they could be going through it at other points, but they're putting in the work, and that's the inspiring and empowering part of it.
Yeah, a lot of my most successful videos are ones of me like almost swearing at my computer because I'm like can't play a part. It's like the ones that people resonate with the most. So yeah.
Yeah, because you've got those people who are like, oh, I'm scared. That's why they're scared of their computers.
Yeah, you have to embrace the cringe.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. But aside from all that, potentially like breaking down at your computer aspects of it, you have been killing it lately, doing just like like a quick like dive back. You did a yearly recap post, like the end of 2025 hashtag posts. Your 2025 was stacked. You had like the most insane shows you were doing. Spilt Milk, like Fanning Dempsey National Park. You got to play with some of my favorite acts, like Merpire had like one of my favorite albums of last year.
She's my favorite artist. Hey Rhiannon, if you're there.
Yes, hello. I can't stop with Milk Pool. Every time I just move on to different favorite tracks at every moment of my life. It's currently Rosanna, but it's also still kind of K9. But like at the start, I didn't like those songs as much as I loved the rest. We love you, Rhiannon. I love you, Merpire. But yeah, you have had such a stacked 2025. What was that like? Like I know not everything was happening in 1 week, so it was all spread out. But looking back at those insane support slots, those insane highlights of your career, how does that feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely crazy. And I think like I always do an end of year post. And last year I was like, okay, so I'm going to post about everything. And there were so many exciting things that happened in my personal life too that way outweighed my my music stuff. Like I became an aunt and my brother got married and all of these other amazing things that I was like, okay, we're gonna have to do like 3 wrapped posts because we're gonna have to do one that's like my singing, and then we're gonna have to do one that's like all of the cool studio stuff I got to do this year, and then one that's like my family stuff. And then I got so overwhelmed by it that I just like didn't do the other 2. But I think like I saw this quote the other day that really resonated with me, which is like, the people who have sustainable music careers aren't necessarily the people with the most talent or the hardest working people. It's the people with the mental strength to be able to cope with quiet periods as well as these periods where everything's happening. Because it really does feel like sometimes you'll do a gig and you'll be like, well, that's the last gig I'll ever do, so I guess I have to make the most of it. And then you'll have 2 months where you won't get a single email, and then you'll have 1 month where you need to be in 5 places at once. So being able to have like the mental strength to just be like, okay, it's quiet at the moment, so I should use that time to just recuperate and get ready for something that's probably going to happen in a month from now. I think that's like kind of how I deal with everything, and I think that's why I can take on so much stuff as well, is just because I try and like use my free time wisely, maybe.
Yeah, that's such an important thing to have in the back of your mind. As you started talking about quotes, I literally looked right in front of me. I've got a sign that says, every now and then bite off more than you can chew. So I'm living to a very different ethos, and I need to switch to that you were just saying.
Yeah, and I think I feel so lucky that I think everyone kind of knows that I've been hustling for a really long time, and I'm sending a lot of cold emails that don't get replied to, which is fine. But yeah, I'm really grateful for these opportunities that are starting to come without me having to like bang people's doors down.
Yeah, that's one of the like scariest things about the music industry from my side of it. It's the constant emails. It's like, I don't know if anyone's going to read this, but I'm putting myself out there. I'm here. I'm awake.
Exactly.
Oh, I'd love to ask then, as you're talking about these quiet periods, you're saying it's not always a hectic time, and for the best, you deserve your sleep, you deserve your rest. And I'd love to ask, how can fans of your music, who have discovered you through your production work, people who are loving the Sophie Edwards project, how can we best support you to get you through these hectic times, to get you through these quiet periods, and to just show you that we're loving your work?
Yeah, I mean, I think I get a lot of like really supportive messages, which is really inspiring for me to be able to continue. And just people who repost my music or share it with their friends. Or I love seeing like when people put it on a really obscure playlist and I can see the playlist name, but I think maybe people don't realize that the artists like have a list of all of the playlists that their song gets added to. Love that. Love seeing those weird things pop up. But yeah, I think just continuing to follow along and cheer me on is really great. I've been like dealing a lot with imposter syndrome, especially this month, of just feeling like everyone's about to find out that I'm not actually good enough. And so those constant reminders from my family and friends that I'm supposed to be where I am has been really helpful.
Yeah, I'm definitely like 2026, as much as I've been walking into it with a like, this is like a world domination era sort of mindset. It's scary out here. Every good thing that comes your way feels like, it feels like some sort of like premonition of like, hey, like this is the last hurrah, which is never not listen to those voices. But like, I really believe in music, in creative arts, in any sort of arts, people should be reaching out and telling their favorite creators, telling their favorite creative folk how much they're appreciating what they're doing. Like, reach out to your favorite artists, reach out to your favorite musicians, reach out to your favorite artists, reach out to your favorite anyone creative. Tell them you're loving their stuff. It is free. It takes seconds and it changes their days. Like,
yeah. I sent a message this morning because one of my friends in Brisbane, who I haven't even really, we hung out once at Big Sound and that's it, but her TikToks just keep showing up on my feed to the point where now when I'm like not even looking at TikTok, her song is popping into my head. And so I sent her a message today just being like, hey, just letting you know that like it's working. I actually want to go stream your song because it's in my head all day. So, and I feel like stuff like that especially with things like TikTok where it's a little bit apprehensive for a lot of people to post stuff, letting them know that you really like it and that they're not cringe is always really nice.
Yeah, and it's like you don't know who's receiving this. You're talking to a blank screen, and it's like when people are like, hey, like I thought that was really funny, it really changed the way I'm listening to the song now. It's like, oh, me?
Yeah. It's been very weird and cool to have that.
Yes, okay, I love it. I have this sort of like mantra. It's like if I listen to like an album like front to back, or if I listen to a song more than like 3 times in a row, I have to tell the artist. Like I need to get in there. I need to say something. Because
That's a great practice. Yeah.
It does get a bit overwhelming though when it's like after a full day of music listening, I'm like, okay, I'm telling everyone that I'm giving up all of you.
You got to go through the contact list. And that would be funny.
Love it. We're talking about listening to music. I'd love to ask you my favorite question. I love hearing who my favorite artists and the artists I'm listening to are listening to, because I feel like it helps me, like when I then listen to your music again, I'll go, okay, I can see like sort of webs. I love it. It's something I nerd out about. So I'd love to ask you, who are you listening to? Which like fellow Aussie artists, like whether it's the artist as a whole, whether it's certain tracks, have you been listening to and absolutely loving lately?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just going through like my recent
get the playlist.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we already talked about Murphy, but I think it was like in 2020 or 2021, I went to Melbourne for like this really chaotic week before I moved overseas. And I went and hung out with my friend, and she was like, you should come to this show tonight. I think you would really like it. And it was Murphy's show, and I'd never heard of Murphy before. And I was like, what the heck am I going into? Mermaid vampires? Like, what are we doing? And that show just like completely blew my mind. And I was just like, oh my God, this is like what I want to be. Like, and then, yeah, ever since then, like I've just listened to Murphy so much, and we're now friends, which is great. I got to do a session with her, which was really cool, where I got to produce for her. And she's just like a really cool older sister that is just the best. So always going to champion her, especially in the Australian scene. But yeah, outside of that, like I think I really love this artist called Lennon Stella. And she just has like the most beautiful voice. She hasn't released any music for years, and it's driving me crazy. But she's from the US, and she just writes like the most. She started in country music, so all of her lyric writing is really emotive and beautiful, and then she has like these really creative, innovative pop stuff happening behind her that I think, because I've also just rinsed her when I was learning how to produce there's a lot of that kind of seeps into my production. But yeah, I listen to new music every day and I just love it all. So there's so many people that I could shout out all the time. But yeah, I just love music.
Yeah, oh, I love it. I feel like if I go more than like 10 minutes in like silence without music playing, I will go fully crazy. So I get that.
I think as a producer too, I have a bit of a problem with like, I struggle to listen to music and not analyze it.
Yeah.
So the music that I really like enjoy listening to is stuff that I don't understand how it was made. So that is stuff like Nina Geraci and Skrillex. Stuff like that actually is like my guilty pleasure because I just sit there and listen to it because I can't work out what they were doing. I have no idea. So yeah, stuff like that is really relaxing for me, which sounds crazy that I'm like, yeah, Skrillex is relaxing, but it kind of helps me turn my brain off a little bit, which is weird. But anyway.
Yeah, so I'm kind of doing the opposite right now. I'm really into writing, like not writing songs necessarily, but like I'm a really big writer. And whenever I hear a song, I'm like, how did you come up with that line? Like, how did the pacing of that line, like the lyrical content? I'm like, I get so sucked in. And I listen to songs on repeat and I'm just like, why did you make that choice? I need to know.
Yeah, any song that means that the lyrics are so emotive that I'm not thinking about the production, I'm like, that's a hit. So that's cool.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for making the time to chat today. I genuinely have to go listen to Better again because I cannot stop thinking about it. It's that sort of track you just want to keep returning to because it's such a happy song and I love that.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you like it.